What old game should be remade with 2021 graphics? Twisted Metal. The Prince of Persia trilogy, Sands of Time, Warrior Within, The Two Thrones. That's a great shout. Thousands of gamers have no idea, it's an important 3D game. Definitely helped establish what a good 3D platformer action game should feel and look like. You'll never forget playing Sands of Time and running along the walls. Spore. It's such a unique concept, and I really think a game with a similar, but the more realistic style would do great. It's definitely something that needs to be updated. I'm genuinely curious if someone could take on the design goals of it and actually make it work this time around with more modern tech and I'd say a more experienced game industry. The two I know about are Thrive and Adapt. Thrive is unrealistically ambitious and may as well be dead in the water, get it? Adapt, though, is an actual video game that could feasibly exist. Haven't checked in on either of them for a couple years, so they may have both been nuked. The Simpsons Hit and Run. The creators of The Simpsons even want this to happen, but apparently the rights to the game are stuck in some legal hell. The rights to the game have been in legal hell since the game came out. Still got my copy and it still works on my Wii too. Gotta be that one guy who always says Legend of Dragoon on a post like this. Black and White. The title asks about graphics, but imagine how good the eye could be now. The first 3 Harry Potter games where you could explore the whole damn castle. Max Payne 12. Perfect Dark. Everyone always praises GoldenEye to the moon, but this game was essentially GoldenEye 2 improved in every way. Its features were way ahead of its time, with the combat simulator to this day not being surpassed in customizable options. It also featured a co-op game mode and a counter-operative game mode. Filled with secrets, a decent plot and a ton of cool guns. Such an amazing game that people never talk about. Morrowind. Silent Hill. Never has the furnace turning on at 2 a.m. scared more piss out of me than when I was too wrapped up in the fog of Silent Hill 1. I'd expect the game to have aged super poorly in graphics and controls though since then. Bad graphics are not a bad thing when it comes to horror games. In lots kf ways it makes it all the more unsettling. Controls and voice acting on the other hand. Edit, yes y'all, I know about the PS1 hardware restrictions and the fog. Having played through it again recently, I think the PS1 graphics were too bad. Its PS2 cousins had fantastic graphics and those haven't aged badly, whereas the jittery, pixelated polygons on the PS1 end up causing eye strain. It can be used as an aesthetic in retro games, no doubt, but just like how modern 2D games aren't actually 8-bit and use some modern graphical effects to look nicer, the PS1 style needs cleaning up. The controls didn't support analog movement, either, which was a bit of a pain. I still thoroughly enjoyed the game, but that was helped by my love for the PS2 masterpieces, Silent Hill 2, 3 and 4, where the series really came into its own. LOTR, Return of the King. Enter the Matrix. I definitely would suggest The Matrix, Path of Neo. So many playthroughs, so many skickings. There is a very old NES game called Pirates. You play surprise as a pirate and you explore the world, finding treasure, capturing ships, navigating the winds, finding your lost family, marrying the governor's daughter, then taking over port after port. It had sword duels, galley versus galley segments, and galley versus port segments. It was an ambitious game for the time but suffers from a slow travel system, low graphics, and a very clunky combat system. The closest game to ever replicate it was Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, but just straight up remake without the AC name attached to it, where you can be a pirate a hustle the Spanish waterways would be very fun indeed. Edit. Apparently the game has been remade. Check out the comments for more details, as well as some other really cool game recommendations. Thanks for all the new info, people. Pirates was actually a computer game before it was a Nintendo game. And it was created by Sid Meier, the guy who would go on to make the Civilization series. I think that a remake would need to add a bit of depth to everything, but intentionally avoid falling into the trap that caught Assassin's Creed. Rather than smoothing out the edges for mass market appeal, a developer could focus on making it so that every system from combat to selecting one's crew was controllable by the player. It would probably be a bit tough to refine the sword fighting mechanics, but if someone got it right, I'd be willing to bet that the end result would be incredible. Fable. MechWarrior 2 update, wow, that's a lot of votes. I just want to say Jade Falcon are cowards. Reactor, online sensors, online weapons, online all systems nominal. Timesplitters 2. That is all, holy sheet, thanks for all the awards and glad everyone loves this game as much as I do. Star Wars Republic Commando. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Super Mario RPG. It was so awesome but came out for Super Nintendo right before the N64 was released, so everyone forgot about it too fast. A close second is Banjo-Kazooie for N64. I loved that game and all the different themed worlds it had, and I think it would be incredible with today's capabilities. Edit, thank you for my first ever award. Wii Sports. Wii Sports would have been such a perfect remake for the Switch in every way imaginable. The Joy-Con are just small Wii remotes and the Switch had nothing but Breath of the Wild at launch. Taking Wii Sports or Wii Party on the go would be all you need. Jak and Daxter. I was so excited when they re-released it for PS4. I don't think I'd ever legitimately beaten the first game, so that was really fun. Jak 2 is just a masterpiece and 3 holds a ton of nostalgia for me. I'd pay for graphics updates and do it all over again any day of the week. Edit to fix that it wasn't a remaster. Legacy of Kain series Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yes. Specifically the Soul Reaver games would be awesome. Parasite Eve. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 4. Not 3? Is there a remake of 3 I missed? The original Deus Ex. Quake. On Friday the revitalized edition is going to be announced at QuakeCon. Whether it's a remaster or a brand new game, we will have to wait and see. New Vegas a la Faux 4, but with the same UI and everything else from FNV, just updated. Isn't someone already doing this? I thought there was a Fallout 4 NV project going on somewhere. Fallout 12, I think a lot more people would play them if they were up to date, maybe even bring in Bethesda gameplay. The Splinter Cell series. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Man, there's a game that is basically Roller Coaster 12 but with better graphics. The name is Parkitect. Have fun. The Sims 2. It's still the superior Sims game out of all of them for me. Sims 3 concepts were pretty good. And I like the horses. Graphics are weird though. Sims 3 is my favorite. I love the open world. I've tried but Sims 4 just really doesn't do it for me. Sims 4 was definitely missing something. It felt like they made it look better but dumbed it way down. Like, why take away the ability to customize the color of everything you built? Getting rid of that in exchange for here are the 3 colors this couch comes in, take it or leave it, felt like one of those shitty remodeling mobile games. Fortunately, I only played 4 as part of an EA Play membership, so at least I didn't pay for such a weak experience. This is exactly how I feel. The color customization for hair is what I miss most. Your options in 4 are brunette or neon, but in 3 you could pick a color for your base, roots, highlights, and tips. It was so cool. The Oregon Trail. I mean, sometimes pixels are good. You want to see the real face of dysentery? Edit, okay, someone highlighted this post and now it's been highlighted again, and this is the 3rd time. And it keeps getting more and more dysentery colored each time. Y'all are nasty. Is this what you wanted? Road Rash. Starfa. Every Star Fox after 64 failed to capture the addictive gameplay. I've been excited for and bought every one hoping for something close. Blur. For those who have never heard of this game, which I'm guessing is a lot, Blur is a racing game with an arcade-style gameplay. It features an incredible amount of cars separated into classes from Class D to Class A. It has extremely fun gameplay modes and features a ton of challenges. An incredibly fun game that I would recommend to anyone interested in having some fun. And for those that have friends. You can also play it in split-screen mode and do races, a game mode called Destruction, which is the highlight of the game in my opinion. Just you and your friends trying to blow each other up while driving your favorite cars. It's a ton of fun and I would love for there to be a 2021 remake.